What's up? What's up? What's poppin'? Hey, yo, it's Nate Dogg 916 coming at you live from Sacramento. Hey, man, y'all know what it is, man. Hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification bell. Hey, for all my subscribers, man, hey, look, go check me out on TikTok at Nate Dogg 916, obviously. Give me some follows, man. Give me some follows. Get my numbers up, man. I just got the ability to go live over there, so I'm gonna do that over there too. And you know, come support the kid, man. For those of you who don't know, Rascal, the homie Hangout, Rascal Reacts, all the channels. He banged on me yesterday or the day before yesterday, something like that. He said, if you don't know, if you haven't checked out Nate Dogg 916 on YouTube, well, then he said, well, he ain't checked out himself lately because he ain't been posted. Okay, I heard you. I caught you. I'm about to post some stuff. At least hit the people with something and see what it do. So, I was having a question with my son this morning on the way to school, right? He asked me, did you get jumped in to your neighborhood when you was a gang member, right? I said, nah. He said, how you from the neighborhood if you didn't get jumped in? I said, let's be clear. First and foremost, up here, up north, let me be more precise. In Sacramento, because I know a lot more about Sacramento than I know about anybody else's cities and they hood politics, nothing like that. You don't get jumped in. Back in my days, remember, I was born in 1975. In my days, you didn't get jumped into a hood. You was either from that hood, grew up in that hood, and started your career in that hood and was always from that hood, or you wasn't. You couldn't come from somewhere else and we beat you up and then you from the hood. Nah, that's not how it used to work. And he said, well, why not? I said, let me give you a perfect example, right? So, say you know you got to go in the backyard with two dudes you cool with, you friends with, y'all friends, whatever, 2, 3, whatever the number may be, and y'all got to go in the backyard, y'all got to get down for you to be from the hood, right? Well, these is dudes you know, these is dudes you're comfortable with. So, worst come to worst, they not really gonna hurt you. Yeah, you might get a couple lumps, you might get some ooh-wees, all that, but they not gonna hurt you. I said, when I was a kid, you know how you proved or showed your worth to be down in the hood? You didn't have to, like, you showed your worth and you was on from the hood when you went and put in work for the hood. I said it'd be a big difference than you going in the backyard and fighting two people you know, when you know what they working with, you know what they gonna do, what they not gonna do, and then having to go to the neighboring hood or to the enemy hood and just go get on something. And I'm not talking about unaliving nobody or nothing like that. I'm talking about just going, in my days, going and going to the enemy hood and squabbling up. Yeah, let's just go find some dudes outside and rush them. You know, let's go put in some work for the hood. And he looked, he was like, ooh. I said, because you don't know what them enemies is going to do to you. You don't know what the ops going to do to you. So you don't go into it with no thought process like, oh, I could take a butt whooping. But you don't know, these dudes might kill you over here in this other hood. Anything. All these things you risk in going to another hood to go put in some work. And back in our days, that's how you showed you was with the stuff. Because I seen a lot of people, and what cities they from and all that don't matter. But when it come to actually getting into some stuff, getting into some business, they ran or they was afraid. You know, we gonna see what your heart built like, because we gonna go do this now. We're not gonna wait till it pop off and see what you do. We gonna go do it. And that's a different kind of mindset, you know. Getting beat up by your homeboys, in my opinion, don't show that you tough. Don't show that you down. It just show that you ain't scared to fight. Like, you ain't scared to go in there and basically, in all effects, in my opinion, horseplay with your homeboys. Because in my neighborhood, we was all boxing and fighting at a young age just for fun. You know, we would box, we throw the gloves on and get out just for fun. So and I don't never see how I could be down and put my life on the line and show love for 2-3 dudes that just beat the crap out of me in the backyard, whether I know them or not. Now my mindset is I'm gonna get on you. Whatever chance I get, I'm getting back. I'm getting my get back. And that's not to say that, that's no, I'm not trying to down talk other hood politics and what people do now, and you know what I mean? But I knew you, but if most of the people in my age group from my neighborhood know me most of my life, like since I was a kid, so you saw the progression of what I ended up becoming, and you saw the progression of what I become now. And I'm sure my big homie Dre will see this video and he'll make a comment, but they seen I was always on that type of time. I never had to be forced to do nothing. It wasn't like, oh, go show you'll do this and you could be from the hood. What? You gonna tell me I'm not from the hood I'm from? Oh, okay. I'm literally from here. I didn't move here. I didn't wait till I was 13, 14 years old, move to a neighborhood and start banging that neighborhood. Nah, I went to elementary school, junior high school, all that, daycare, all that in my neighborhood. The same Del Paso Heights, the same neighborhood. Yeah, that's it. So, that just woke him up to the difference in times and the difference in generations, and just let him know, like, it's not the same. It was different back in the days. We wasn't jumping on our homeboys for them to be from our hood. Most of the people that ended up being my homies from the hood was my childhood friends from the hood. Like before they started banging, or before we all started banging, before we was putting in work, hanging out with the older homies and all that. Before any of that, we was already friends in the hood. We was already playing midget football and in elementary school together and all that stuff. We was doing all that. And then I started getting locked up, obviously at 12 and a half, for those of y'all who've been watching my videos. I started getting locked up, and then people got to certain levels in this stuff. Some people weren't as serious. Some people want to ride around with a flag on it and have a couple squabbles, and that's cool, and that's all right. Everybody ain't built for the same stuff. Like I said before, it's different levels to people in the hood. You got people in the hood, from the hood, that is just drug dealers from the hood. He a homie, but he just sell drugs. That's all he do. He don't be with none of the smoke. He don't be with none of the business. He ain't going and catching no bodies or even trying to catch no bodies. You know what I mean? He ain't doing none of that. But he do be having money, and he do be looking out. He'll get a young homies work if they need some work. Stuff like that. And that's a different level to it. And then you had the homies that were just like what some other people will call hangarounds. Like, yeah, he grew up in the hood, but he ain't a gang member. But he's still from the neighborhood. Like, he from the neighborhood, but he ain't really on that type of time. But he from the neighborhood. He grew up here. We're not gonna say he not from the neighborhood, but you not no gang member from the neighborhood. You from Del Paso Heights, but you not a Del Paso Heights blood. See, there's a difference, But I mean, that's not to say that we would try to do nothing to them because they wasn't bloods. They still from the neighborhood. It's just, oh, that's little whoever or little whoever. It don't matter. You don't have to be a gang member. If you grew up in a neighborhood, you was from that neighborhood. Now, if you decided to gang bang that neighborhood and be a gang banger, then you was out putting in work. You was out banging on stuff. And, that matriculated into you being from the hood, It wasn't too many questions for me because, like I said, I started out at a young age. So they already knew what I was on. But, just a little bit of education for those who don't know. Nah, you not. If you was living in Del Paso Heights, or if you was a youngster in Del Paso Heights from 1975 to 1996, which is the time I was born to the time I was put in prison, so I can definitely speak on what was going on then. You wasn't getting jumped on to be from the Heights. That did not happen. And if anybody told you it did, it's not true. Period. Y'all don't do nothing else, stay loyal.